Looks like whoever had installed the wedge on this thing didn't glue it in. Well, guys, I was chopping away out here and my axe head started to slide, and it looks like whoever had installed the wedge on this thing didn't glue it in. They just stuck it in there, and the thing has popped out from all the chopping we've been doing. We've only got a few logs in, but I got to fix this because it's coming off pretty easily. So we're gonna have to take a minute, pop this head off, build us a wedge. So I guess that's what we're doing today. That's too bad. This was bought for a display piece, and I think it was sold for a display piece as well. So I think the guy got these old broadheads, kind of fixed them up a little bit, put a nice little bevel shine on them, sand them a little bit, and then obviously stick a custom hickory handle on this thing. But he skipped a part. He didn't get that wedge in. So we are going to have to create a wedge. Today's video is creating a wedge for a broadhead. We'll be back. All right, guys, so I'm working the head off, and I'm just working it off by hitting the log. That's the way it's wanting to come off. But I'm seeing some issues. I think we're gonna have issues trying to put a good fit back on this handle. Part of the reason is this thing is so customized and so modified that they actually have a random chunk of wood up in here to fill in this wedged area. So this thing has got a pretty good crack down it, which is not good. And then in there is just a wedge shaped. Ugh. And then they got this piece in here. This was just a little filler wedge that they'd stuck up the side to fill up some gaps. So we're gonna keep this because we'll probably put this back in. But for now we gotta clean. We can't do too much because if I run out of axe handle modifying this thing, it's eventually not gonna sit anymore. It won't sit down here. This won't catch the cheeks here of the axe. It'll just wind up sliding all the way down, which we don't want to do because I want to be able to use this. So this might not be as clean a job as we would like. We're going to have to just make it work. So now that we've got this out, we're going to clean it up a little bit, and then we're going to get a wedge cut for it. Then we're going to put it back together, and then we're going to punch a bigger wedge in. We're going to glue it down and in, and then we're going to try and find some metal wedges to go down in. But I'll show you guys all of that as we put this thing back together. Well, guys, I think this is it. I think we are at the end of hand hewing logs. As I've been out here working today on these logs as well as the other projects going on, and as long as it's taken me to do these ones and to see that I still have work on this other one because it's just bowed too high, and really thinking through the process of how flat I really do need these logs to be. Otherwise, I'm going to create so much more work for myself once I start building. And then on top of it, I showed you guys that I had not broke the axe, but the axe is not working currently, unfortunately. So it's another setback, and it's more time to go and fix that stuff. And the whole time, my lovely wife is reminding me that, hey dude, we have a mill. You bought a mill. Why don't you just mill these things? And I'm coming to the realization, as even though I am getting faster at doing them, it's still going to take me over a month to a month of dedicating all this time to just creating one small little accessory to the farm. And I've got so many projects that need to get done as we are coming into nicer weather and the snow is completely starting to melt off. I just don't think I'm going to be able to continue hand hewing this project. Now, this isn't the absolute death of a dream. Hand hewing something is something I've always wanted to do, but unfortunately we're too new into this homestead and getting stuff built. This is just a luxury to be able to sit out here and build something slow in the way that I want, in this methodical manner of hand hewing and hand joining everything. I'm just not going to be able to do that without taking a huge chunk of the summer to do it, when I could get so much more stuff done. And to be honest, after a hard day of milling, I could probably mill all of the logs that I need to make this happen. There's still going to be a lot of hand sawing and notching to do, because that's just the way that it's going to have to be done. But as far as the hand hewing goes, I think I got to be done. Let's go take a look at the mill. Goodbye, project. I got to mess with that too. I thought that I had wedges, metal wedges to put into that to go in the top, but I'm gonna have to save that for another day. I spent an hour running around looking for the stuff that I need, including some hardwood that I thought I had that I don't have. So I'm wasting too much time doing this project while trying to get other stuff done. And Shelby's got more stuff for me to do as well. She's got planters on the brain, raised planter beds for the garden. And so I'm gonna have to mill that stuff as well. I'm also over here looking at Lila, seeing what Lila's got going on, and we would like to expand her area as well. If we are gonna stay here, we need a larger fenced in area for Lila to be able to eat, as well as add to the herd and get more cows on the farm, so that we can get cows off the farm and start making money with cows, because Lila's not gonna make us money. We need more. So here we are, guys, at the mill. This is my woodland mill. So we use it for stuff. I didn't use it a lot last year, but I'm gonna use it a ton this year. I have got just a bunch of stuff to do with the smokehouse to do. I'm gonna mill all my own boards for the fence for Lila's pen to fence all of that in. I think that's how we're gonna go about it. Milling the wood myself just saves us so much money, and really it saves us time to be able to just mill the boards, go out and put them up, mill the boards, go out and put them up. And so there's just too many projects filling up the list. The list is getting bigger, and the hand hewn project is just slowing everything down, unfortunately. But it is what it is. That is the great balance between Shelby and I, is she's gonna let me kind of do something for a bit and tell me I'm an idiot and that I need to go do something better. And she's right. It's just going to take too long. It's too much time dedicated to it. And it's just a totally selfish thing on my part to want to build in a specific way. So let's use our mill. So the mill hasn't ran since last year. We got a tank of fuel siphoned out of it. It's covered in dust. We got to get it cleaned up, get the engine going on this thing, and then we'll get it fired up and start milling this stuff. And like I said, I might be able to mill all of what I need in one day's time. So I need to focus on doing that, because if I'm going to just take maybe 2 weeks to finish out this project, That's best case scenario. On top of all this, I'm looking over here at Lila, and she's acting weird. And we've got Lila in the pen, and we've got 2 goats in the pen that are ready to give birth as well. And that might take my time. Something might happen where I need to create a new structure or pen them off or do something to make them happy. And if I'm constantly being pulled off of that, the smokehouse, then I'm not going to get anything done. So I'm being pulled in too many directions, and so we are ending the hand hewing of the smokehouse, but we're not done with the smokehouse. The smokehouse is going up. That is the update, guys. In a future video, tomorrow probably, we're going to get this thing fired up and get to milling wood. So hand hewing done, but at least we'll show you how to mill some wood, mill some logs for that stuff. And then once we go over there, take the logs back and start notching all of it. That's going to be a fun process, and I'll still get to use my hands and work with the wood, which is what I like to do. That's the reason I wanted to do it, is not using machinery. But there's nothing wrong with using machinery. All right, guys, thanks for watching. See you tomorrow when we mill some logs.